Hi, Tracy Hugelmeyer here from VintagepreneurUniversity.com, where I help vintage sellers start, grow, and scale their business on Etsy. I also own my own vintage business, Rustic Guy, that I've had on Etsy since 2013. And today I'm going to talk to you about what internal links are and how to include them effectively in your Etsy shop. Okay, so internal links are links that are used within the same domain. So in this case, we're talking about your Etsy shop. When you link within your item descriptions to other items or sections or your main shop, those are all considered internal links. You might be wondering, well, what's the point of using internal links? There are two primary benefits. First of all, if used correctly, they can increase your conversion rates. And number two, they can pass authority from one page to another, which helps your search engine optimization. And right now we're talking about your outside search engine optimization, like for the outside search engines such as Google. As far as we know, Etsy doesn't care about those internal links one way or the other, but we always want to make sure we're optimizing both for Etsy and for the outside search engines. So how can you use internal links in your own shop in an effective way? Glad you asked. I'm going to show you a couple ways right now. Okay, so here I am in my own Etsy shop to show you some examples, and I'm in one of my items, my vintage letterpress letters. And if you go into the description and scroll down, you will see that when I talk about availability, I put here to see all currently available letterpress, click here. And then when you click, you'll see that you're brought to my vintage letterpress section. So I'm strategically leading my customers to find other similar items, in this case in the form of the section that contains all the similar items. And that's just one way to do it. Another thing that using internal links helps with is keeping customers on your site. So anytime you can increase the time somebody stays on your site and lower your bounce rate, that also helps your outside search engine. Because essentially it tells the outside search engines that this is a site that people are wanting to stay on and look at rather than just looking and then bouncing really quickly, okay? So that's one way you can use internal links. You can link to a section. Okay, and I'm back in that same item that I was looking at before for this example. And if you scroll a little bit further down, you'll see that I say Shop All Rustic Eye here. And I include a link back to my shop. So we click there and it goes to my main shop page where all my items are. Now you might be wondering, well, how many links should I be including in my items? You should usually aim to include 2 to 3 links in each item, or even 1 to 3 is sufficient. You don't want to include too many links. There are some exceptions to that if it makes sense. For example, I have, let's go to my vintage rubber stamps, and I'm going to just go ahead and search for letter. Okay, that was not the best search, but anyway, you get the idea. If we click on this listing here, I want to show you that I have these broken up into letters. So this is A through H, for example, and then I have all the other letters broken out. So I have I through Q and R through Z, and I link to each of those as well. So if in this case, I'm kind of helping my customers navigate through my shop and find the things that they're looking for. So let's say they find a letter here. Well, now where do I find those other letters that I need? They can go right to it by clicking on those links. So sometimes it makes sense to include more than 1 to 3, but you don't necessarily need to, is kind of what I'm trying to say there. Okay, so link to your a section, link back to your shop. Another thing that you can do is link to your a particular item. So let's say you have something that coordinates really well with a particular item. Let's say you're selling a vintage shirt and there's a vintage scarf that looks really well with it. It coordinates well. You might want to link that, or you should absolutely link that vintage scarf to the vintage shirt and vice versa, so that you're kind of, giving more information to your buyers that are going to help them. And that's always a positive thing. And in the same time, you're helping, all those things that we talked about, your search engine optimization, and your conversion rates. So link to a similar item, or an item that you think someone will be interested in, either in addition to what they are looking at, or that's similar, that, maybe this one isn't exactly what they want, but if they go look at that other one, yep, that's definitely it. So if you know that you have that correlation between your items, that's a very smart strategy to use as well. Okay, and the last one that I wanted to show you, which is kind of cool, that you may not have thought of before, even if you are doing this, is if you have similar items that are searchable within your particular shop. So in this example, I'm going to use brass tags, okay, because I have a few different listings where I offer brass tags. What I did was I linked to brass tags, okay, and I'll show you how I did that. It's not a section, but it does pull up all the brass tags in my shop. So I say, to see more brass tags, including numbers only or blank tags with the number or text of your choice, click here. And then when I do that, you can see it pulls up all the brass tags that are available in my shop. Now they have to have this brass tags in the title, but the way I do that is by just typing in here in my own shop search. So not in the main search bar up here, but in my own items search within my shop. If I type in my keywords that I want to use for this purpose, then it'll pull up all of those items on a page. Well, that page links to, let's see if we can see this here. I have to pull this up a little bit so we can see the search bar. It pulls up a URL, and if you copy and paste that URL, then you will be able to do the same thing in your own descriptions. You'll be able to pull up whatever that search is, take that URL and paste it into your item description, and voila, it's like a customized search for the items that you want your customers to go look at next. So again, this isn't an actual section that I'm leading them to, but it's the particular items that relate to the same keywords that they're already looking at. So that's a trick you can try if that might work in your shop as well. Now, the one kind of thing that you just need to look out for here that I've done before, and you could probably find a link in my shop still because I catch them every now and then. But if you are signed into your own shop, I'm in incognito mode here so that you're not, so that you're able to see what it looks like for an outside viewer. But if you are signed into your shop and you copy a link, whatever link that is, whether you're in your item, I'll show you, it's kind of the same thing. If you're in your item, you just select the URL at the top and copy and paste that. But if you are signed into your own shop, it has, a lot of times it'll say in the URL itself, it refers to that you're in your own shop navigation. Now, I've noticed it'll, no matter whether you're signed into your account or not, it's smart enough to know to redirect you to, or redirect the person who clicks on that to the right item. But it just kind of looks kind of funny because it doesn't look like a URL that you should be sharing with a customer. So just take note of that. I like to copy my links outside of, in incognito mode for that purpose. How do you get to incognito mode? You can, if this is only through Chrome, so you have to be using a Chrome browser. But then if you click on these three little dots up here in the corner, you can select New Incognito Window, and then there you have it. You'll be able to be in incognito mode, and it won't, you can achieve the same thing by logging out, but that's just a little bit of an easier way to do it. And if these long URLs bother you, you can always shorten your links as well. Use any URL shortener. Just search that up in Google and you'll get a few that are suggested to you. But the long links aren't too long, and they usually don't bother me enough to bother with that. So you can see I do have a complete link here, which is fine. I don't think it's too bad. But that's an option for you as well. Okay, so I hope that helps you understand internal links and how you can use them strategically in your shop. If you are wanting to get some other ideas on how to help your SEO both inside Etsy and outside Etsy, you can take my free SEO training. You can just go to vintagepreneuruniversity.com/free challenge, and I'll link to that in the notes of this video for you as well. And if you like this video, make sure to like it, subscribe to my channel, and click the little bell as well so you get notified every time a new video comes out. Thank you very much for joining me today, and have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!